This week, we're doing Q&A. Stick around and find out. So I got tagged in Angus from Maker's Muse's hashtag 3D printing on YouTube video, so let's get things started. What was the first thing that I got 3D printed? Well, first thing I ever got 3D printed was a little locomotive shell through Shapeways, which was a total design disaster on my part. And the very first thing I ever printed on the Ultimaker 2, well, that was the Ultimaker robot, which was preloaded onto the SD card for me. Pretty fun stuff. Number 2, a popular 3D printer that I don't like. Well, the only reason why I personally do not really like the Type A Series 1 machine is not because it can't print things, it's just because for the price, I feel like it's lacking a lot of important features. Mainly for the price of $2,750, you do get a 12x12x12, I believe, build volume, which is huge, and that's really nice. But the problem with it is, you don't get a heated build bed. You don't get a proper fan shroud that blows the air, like, at the parts. It just blows it at the build bed. And you don't get a built-in LCD screen or SD card slot. I mean, the machine's Wi-Fi, which is cool to a point, but over at the college that I go to, we had problems with the computer and the machine not speaking over the network. And that was a massive nightmare to get figured out. So for that reason, I don't know. I just feel like for what they're charging, it would be a much better machine if they had that on there. That's just my take on it, in a nutshell. Okay, number 3, a popular 3D printer that everyone else seems to hate, but I love. Well, I wouldn't exactly call it hate. I would say that I feel like people kind of look at the PrinterBot Play at the price of $400 like, well, you know, $400. Is there anything wrong with that? No, definitely not. It's an American-made machine. It's got a lot of really nice features, and sure, there's little things that you can tweak on it, but the whole concept is for $400, you can't expect it to be an Ultimaker 2, but, you know, they're two totally different price categories, so I feel a little bit like it might not get the kind of recognition that it needs. Wouldn't exactly call it hate, but I'd love to own one if it ran 3mm film at me at that price point. Wow, it's nice. Okay, number 4, a must-have 3D printing gadget, and if you guys can't guess already, it's sandpaper. I mean, I don't know how many times, sandpaper and sanding sticks. I don't know how many times you guys have seen me use those in videos, but I mean, seriously, this stuff is amazing. There's also, you know, X-Acto knife and putty knife and things like that. Those are great, but I feel like just for its basic simplicity and so many uses, I mean, having just a couple of sheets of sandpaper from like 180 up to even just 800 grit, you can do a whole lot with that. You can polish metal prints, you can sand off rough spots. A lot of stuff you can do. I highly recommend that you guys have some sandpaper kicking around. You'll thank me for it later. Okay. Number 5, best free or low-cost 3D printing software, and that one is definitely got to be Meshmixer. Without that, there is no way that I could have thickened the posts on the 3D Hubs wireframe Marvin, and there's no way that I could have printed it without the Meshmixer supports. So definitely gotta go to Meshmixer. If you guys want to learn more about it, go check out Angus's channel. I have a link to it in the description, and also just type in Meshmixer tutorials. It's a little bit difficult to work with at first, but it is a very powerful software for the whopping price of $0. Can't beat that. Okay, lastly, best 3D printing tip. And besides the obvious, don't print ridiculously fast and don't use garbage filament, I gotta say a little filament wiper is amazing. I'm gonna do a video on tips and tricks in the future, but pretty simply, a filament wiper is as simple as a chunk of foam or even a piece of like cotton rag with a clothespin and a tiny bit of sewing machine oil dripped on it that not only wipes the filament clean of dust and particulates that collect on it over time, it also lubricates the filament as it's going to the hot end, and it really makes a big difference, I've found. I love it to bits. It's amazing. And lastly, I'm going to tag 3 people that I really hope will carry this on. And if you guys watching while I do this as well, this is just the official ones. And those would be Jerry from Barnacules Nerdgasm, Joel from Joel the 3D Printing Nerd, and Thomas from, I'm really sorry if I screwed your name up, Thomas Sandlander's channel. He's over in Germany, and he has a ton of really good stuff. And if you guys have any questions or want to see more Q&A videos, please let me know, as I would love to do more, but I want your guys' reaction. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and see you next time.